Well, one of the things that a lot of people fret a lot about is retirement and when you can retirement, what you should do before you retire. And Colton's here to kind of give us a little bit of an idea as to what some of the things you should line yourself up with before you decide to retire. Colton, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Mike. Great to
Good.
be here. Thanks for having
Good.
me.
So let's talk a little bit about retirement because is it ever too late to start to plan your retirement, or is it too early? Or what are some of the things that you should be doing right now?
Well, good question. I would say it's likely not ever too early. Many times I find that folks maybe have apprehension, potentially even anxiety surrounding retirement. We like to meet with folks. The ideal time is at least 5 to 7 years prior to retirement. It's really a perfect time to kind of dial in your strategy, see how on track you are, maybe if there's some blind spots that we need to prepare for. But generally, after we're able to get some of your goals down on paper, in our case, kind of in your retirement analysis scenario, we can project out and answer some of those questions like, do you have enough? What will your retirement income look like? How likely is it that you achieve your goals and retire when you want? Or even maybe more helpful, some of like the trade-off questions, Mike, like, what if I retire early and then start working part-time or delay taking Social Security? So a lot of times, if we can answer some of those questions and get a plan together, then it relieves a lot of apprehension.
And some people might sit there and think, well, I've got X amount of money in the bank, and so if I do retire, I'm fine with that. But really, you kind of want to have your money diversified in other ways so that way you can get to it once you do decide to retire, right?
Agreed. Yes, and there's folks that will come and say, "Well, how much do I need?" And it really is totally a number that we just have to talk about what your goals are, what your wishes are. It's a different number for everybody, and so, like I mentioned, it's so much easier to make adjustments or change course if we need to 3 to 5 years away from retirement, as opposed to if you're maybe a few months or maybe a year out. So that's why it's important to talk with a financial advisor, talk with one of us local Edward Jones financial advisors, and we can definitely, like I said, try to kind of put a plan in place.
Right, and you mentioned the fact that sometimes 3 to 5 years out, but if you're in your 30s right now or even 40s and you don't have this plan ready, this is the time you really need to start thinking seriously about contacting you guys and getting yourself set up with a plan to do this.
Exactly. And as we all know, it's all about time, right? And so, the more time we have and the more money that we invest, the better off you're going to be. And so, yeah, definitely. If you're ambitious and thinking about it now and want to maybe start something outside of work, it's a great time to do that. And so don't hesitate to reach out to us. Maybe if you're in your earlier working years and want to go ahead and kind of start planning for that. We'd love to do that.
That's right. It might be a little bit scary, but it's probably the smart thing to do as you plan for retirement. Now, Colton, how can people get a hold of you guys?
Of course, yeah. Hop online, edwardjones.com, or if you want to call my office, 816-232-1205 is our phone number, and we'd be happy to chat with you and see how we can help.
All right, Colton with Edward Jones. Colton, thank you very much, and hopefully some people will listen to your advice and start planning for that retirement.
Thanks, Mike. Have a good evening.
All right, you too. All right, stay